Hi everybody, it's Diana, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm coming to you with episode 4 of Teach Me's Tuesdays, and I am going to show you a really cute card using the new Home to Roost stamp set. But I first want to talk to you about the new Cling stamps. I had a video on here recently about how I cut out the labels for the clear mount. So I'm basically doing the same thing, but if you're new to the my channel, I'm gonna show you again since I did have so let me pop the camera down and we'll begin. Okay, so I'm just going to show you using the So Hoppy stamp set because I have already mounted my Home to Roost stamp that I'm going to be using today. So Hoppy is one of the new Sale-A-Bration stamp sets, and it's a cling stamp. So what it means is it's basically still the red rubber that is so awesome. But what we've done is we have made the stickers better so that they really cling to the clear block. So hence the name Cling. So it also makes it a lot easier to explain to people instead of saying clear mount, because that was kind of confusing. A lot of times a customer would call me and they would say, well, this is a red rubber. It's not, I can't see through it. So then I had to explain the difference between photopolymer and clear mount. Now we don't have to. Cling and photopolymer. That's what we have. All right, so I have picked this cute little frog out, and I'm just going to turn him over. Now you need to remember to peel the back off. All right, because if you stick the sticker on before you peel off the back, it's going to be stuck to that piece of paper. All right, so now what I do is I just cut my sticker out. And if you watched the video before, basically I'm just showing you the same thing as I did before. So then what I do is I cut as close to the image as possible. So if you still have some of the clear mount, you can do this as well. And it made it stick to the block better. By doing it this way with the new Cling, it gives you kind of like a naked bit of foam so that it makes it a little easier to take it off the block. I've only had trouble with that is if I was lazy and I let it stay on the block for a long time. And then I struggled. So this just, you don't have to worry about it. All right, so then I'm going to peel off just half, because what this does is it allows me to wiggle this a little bit on the stamp without it sticking. So I know that that's where it needs to be, because then I can wiggle it because this side is still like loose basically, because I haven't peeled off that protective layer. And then all I do is I open this up and I unstick that, put it onto the stamp, and then you peel off this. So now you have your cute little frog. And then he's gonna go on your block, and he is stuck on there. He's a hopping all over the place, and he is stuck on his block good. And then, so by cutting around the image, it just kind of gives you like just a little, like I said, it's naked foam. So it's not, it doesn't have the sticky sticker on it. So see, just makes it come off. And then what I would do, and I'll show you with the other set. So what I would do is then I peel off the backing, and then I stick this to the inside of the case, and then the images just go inside their holes. So easy, easy peasy. All right, so I just wanted to clear that up since I did have some questions. All right, so now let's go to this cute card. So last night I was playing around and I made this card up. So then I already had, you know, my card stuck out, my gingham DSP, which is so beautiful. Make sure you sign up for my DSP share. That way you don't miss out and you can basically test drive. One of my customers said that's a great way to test drive the DSP, and it totally is. So I already had it out, and I thought, ooh, I want to play with my rooster. We don't have any roosters. Ones that we did, we got rid of them because I have never met a nice rooster. Isn't that bad? They're nice when they're little, and then they kind of get to be a teenager, and they get kind of mean. So we don't have any roosters. We just have female ducks and chickens. So, but I still love the roosters are beautiful. So I'm going to show you a quick card using this set. All right. So what I did was I stamped just my images on my Whisper White Thick, and I used my Memento that was upside down. I used my Memento ink pad. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to color quickly with my Stampin' blends. Because I kind of want to make like a scenery card. So I'm going to use my brush end of my Stampin' blend. And I'm just going to go quickly for the beginning. So I don't want it totally, I want to leave some of the white paper. So I'm going to, so the grass or the dirt is behind here. All right, so that was just light. And then I'm going to take this is my bronze. I love using the bronze. And I'm just going to hit a little bit. So there's a little bit of darkness. All right. Then I'm going to move right on to my light pool party. Now, I probably use light pool party all the time. So I have several of them. And all I'm doing is I'm quickly coloring in around the chicken. And I'm just going fast. In fact, Jeff fixed my phone so I can do it better where I have it set up, except now I can't sit down. So I'm actually doing this standing up so that I can see in the phone, so I can tell if I'm still on camera. So I might need to get a bit bigger stool. All right, so that's just quickly a coat of the light pool party, and then just let that soak in and dry. So then I'm gonna peel this one back, because I already did this one. And it's already good and dried. Then I'm going to take my color lifter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squiggle around a little bit on the pool party with my color lifter. And then what that does is it's just going to pull some of the color off of there. And it's very subtle, but it looks almost cloud-like. So then that will, as that activates that color lifter with the Stampin' blends, it will like lighten up and all that kind of stuff. All right, now let's continue coloring on with the wheat or the grain or the barley or whatever it is. My husband's at work, or he would probably tell me, and he would probably say, you're coloring it the wrong color. But you know what? I don't know. I'm just coloring it with Old Olive because it's my card, right? And I am taking the liberty of coloring it what I want. So this was the dark Old Olive. And then I'm going to take light Granny Apple Green. And I love saying Granny because I miss her every day. All right, so now I'm just going to come back. Now we'll just add some green as a highlight in there and fill in some of that area. Then I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to hit a little bit on the bottom of whatever crop we decided that this was. Who knows? So I just put a little dot there. Then I'm going to take my dark mango melody, and I'm going to finish it up so that the top of that green is blonder. Okay, super easy. Now we're going to color the little rooster. So let me bring back some of these colors that I already had used. So, because I had been moving them off to the side as I used them. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to color in his comb and his wattle. So I'm using light Poppy Parade. I seem to go towards the Poppy Parade a lot. It's such a pretty, pretty red. It's like a bright red, not super dark. But I gravitate towards that. All right, so I just did those. Now I also want to add a little red on his legs. I also want to add a little red on the tips of his feathers and in his tail feathers as well. So you really cannot go wrong coloring in like a rooster because they are so beautiful and they have so many different colors on them. Unreal. So even the ducks they have so many different colors. All right, so then I'm going to come down here. This is the balmy blue. And I'm going to put a little bit of blue here and here and just a little bit here. But I'm also going to put a little bit in his tail as well. And then I want to put a little bit of the green in his tail too. It's just subtle. And I'm going to put a little bit on his back and right here as well. All right. Then I'm going to go with my yellow and finish him up. Oop, I need to flip that around. I want to use the brush side. Sometimes I use the brush end and sometimes I use the pointed. But this time I want to use the brush. All right, so there he is. Now, the last step, I'm going to use my light smoky slate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to add a little bit here and there. Now, what that's going to do is it's just going to darken that a little bit and give me a little bit of a shadow. Now, usually I shadow first before I color. This time I didn't shadow at all on anything. But this time I'm shadowing after because I can kind of see where I was. So I also want to put a little bit under here. It's just really subtle, but it just adds a little bit to it. All right, very, very cool. So that is done. I have finished coloring that. Then what I want to do is I have already stamped ahead of time, just a note. And then I'm going to trim it out with the classic label. And I'm going to come over here so I have more of the dot, dot, dot in a space. Like that. And then I'm going to use some of our wood grain DSP. Oh my gosh. I am so glad we carried this over because it is so beautiful. And, I mean, you have to have wood grain when you're using a rooster, right? All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue dot. I'm going to put a glue dot here and a glue dot here. And I am just going to glue this so it's just underneath like that. So you can just see that wood grain underneath. And then I'm going to put it on to the card. So again, I'm going to use glue dots again. You could also use dimensionals. I have dimensionals here for me to put the rooster on. But I'm just going to grab the glue dots. If you want them thicker, by all means, you can double stack them. And then you'll get twice the thickness of your glue dot. And then I'm just going to stick it onto here like that. And what I did was I left these overhang. Now, if you want to totally like leave those overhanging, let me see what that would look like. Would that look silly? Actually, it looks silly because it's a little crooked. I have to straighten that. And it actually doesn't look really bad. It kind of looks neat hanging off this side a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim that off. So now I have like flat ends. And I'm going to leave them sticking out because I think that looks cool. All right, I am going to trim it just a tad. All right, get straight. All right, so now I'm going to use the glue dots so that the rooster will actually be sticking off of the paper. And I just grabbed the little baby glue dots because they were right handy to use. they just leave just as much of a mess when you peel them off as the Mama Glue dots do, or the dimensionals. All right, so then one good thing about standing up is I can see if I'm straight or not. When I'm sitting, I swear I get it crooked and I don't realize it until I take a picture and then I'm going, oh my gosh, that is crooked. All right, so let me fold this. I also used Whisper White Thick as the card base because it's got some heft to it, like that. And then I'm going to use my snail and stick it to the card. Now you'll see the gingham has little gingham on the back and big gingham on the front. And I chose the big gingham. It kind of reminded me like going on a picnic or something with the tablecloth. Ta-da! Very cool. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So there's almost the same card. Just, you know, it's always going to be a little bit different. This one's got more, this one has more of the crop than this one. And then here's the card that I have to blog this one. I have to blog this one. This one has some pretty bling on it. But so anyways, that was me today. I just wanted to pop in and hopefully maybe I taught you something. Maybe I didn't, but hopefully you enjoyed it just the same. And I will see you next Tuesday and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.